And welcome to the Aaron Katsman Show. I'm your host, Aaron Katsman. We speak about your life, your money, and your investments. And as always, we're coming to you from the spiritual and soon to be financial capital of the world, Jerusalem, Israel. If you like this content, please hit the like button below. And if you've not yet done so, please subscribe to both the YouTube channel and to the podcast. Let me take this opportunity to wish all of our listeners and viewers a Shana Tova. You should have a happy year, a healthy year, a sweet new year. May all the hostages be freed. May Israel be victorious in its war. May all the injured soldiers and civilians be healed as well. So it's a new year. We're approaching a new year. What better time than to speak about some fundamentals in your personal financial situation? What do we do at a new year? Well, a lot of us make resolutions, right? We're going to be better. We're going to do X, Y, and Z over the course of the year. I'm going to lose weight over the next year, okay? Or there are people who pick smaller resolutions, like I will try to be a better husband. I will try to be a better child. I will try to give more charity. I'll give people the right of way when I'm driving, right? All kinds of different things like that. What's important, I think, when you make a resolution is that what are you really declaring? You're declaring that I'm going to try and make a change in my habits. Okay. So, what's important when you change habits is to, first of all, not bite off more than you can chew. That's the downside with the weight thing. I'm going to lose 40 pounds next year. Maybe say I'm going to lose 5 pounds and see what happens. Right. But if you say I'm going to give charity every day, okay, I'm going to focus on giving people the right of way. Okay, that's something that you constantly do, right? If you do something over and over and over again, it reinforces itself and it becomes a new habit, right? You can change your habits that way. It's like, I've said this so many times, but when a baby learns to walk, it's not starting off by running a marathon. Okay, it's one step and then fall, then another step. Fall, and then pretty soon they figure it out, and there's a couple of steps, and then they can't be stopped because they don't know how to stop. They don't have a break, so they just start running. They start walking really fast until they go plop, and then right. But that's what's important, right? It's one step at a time. You're not gonna. That's why I mentioned biting off more than you chew. You're not gonna do everything tomorrow. Okay, the goal is to be better, to change your habits for the better every year. Right, the time period between the new year, Rosh Hashanah, and the Day of Atonement, Yom Kippur, right, those 10 days, the 10 days of atonement, we work on ourselves, try and become better people, but not just better people for those 10 days. If we can even make it through day 11, that's a success, right? Make it to day 12, wow, right? And then we tend to fall back, but we don't always, not always we fall back into our patterns of the past. That's the whole point. The point is to make ourselves better people. But you're not going to say, okay, I'm going to be perfect tomorrow, right? You pick some little trait and you work on that. And if you can get that change and hang on to that for the whole year, that's amazing. You become a much better person. So too with your financial situation. You're not going to go from someone who has no savings and has tens or hundreds of thousands of shekels or dollars of debt to someone who has $1 million in the bank and no debt over the next couple of weeks. It's just not going to happen. So why say, well, that's what I'm going to do? Or if I get a lot of money, this is what I'm going to do. No, don't wait for that, right? Take control and make your own situation. How do you do that? You change, right? The first thing you do is you make a budget and you prioritize and you say, no more. I'm not living in minus anymore. On a monthly basis, we'll get to the debt in a second, but on a monthly basis, I'm going to live with what I have. Very, I think, important for this time of year also because in Jewish law, in the end of the laws of the holidays, it explicitly says that we are granted a certain amount of money every year that we don't know, right? So we have to be, I don't want to say frugal, but we have to be responsible with the money that we have because we don't really know, right? So we have to live within our means. We have to have a budget, right? It's in the law. It's in the law books in Judaism that you need this. It's not some crazy thing that I'm coming up with or, Dave Ramsey or all these people out there saying get out of debt. It's fundamental It's fundamental to religion, right? You have to live with what you have within your means. Okay, so how do you do that? Well, the first thing you do is you say, okay, I have X amount of money every month coming in, my income. And then you start keeping track of your expenses. Good chance, almost guaranteed, if you're living in debt, that your expenses will be more than your income. And that's where the budget starts. Okay, what do you do? Well, too bad, but you've got to make it work, right? You don't need everything. Trust me. I get all the time, oh, I need this and I've got to do this and I got to do this. So it's not my fault that I'm 5,000 shekels or $5,000 in debt every month. It's just not my fault. Well, it is your fault because you have to make choices. You have to prioritize things because this is what you have. Don't like how much you have? Go out and get a second job. Work 20 hours a day. I don't care. It's a great way to solve the problem. If you need more money or if you've got debt and you want to get out of it, so bring in more money and just use it to pay off the debt. It's not going to go forever. It'll be a year or 2 years. You work super hard, but it's worth it. So you make that budget and you've got to make it fit. If I'm making 25,000 shekels a month or I don't know, $7,000 a month, I've got to fit my financial life into that amount of money. You say, I can't. Yes, you can. You don't have a choice. Because at some point, if you keep playing off the debt and you're rolling your debts, the music's going to stop and you're going to be the one who does not have the chair. And you are going to be bankrupt. Not good. And it's in your hands. You are the solution to your own problems. Look in the mirror. It ain't the government. Don't look at the government to bail you out here. Okay? It's you. You got yourself into the situation, but thankfully you have the tools, or we'll give you the tools to get yourself out and extricate yourself from that same situation and live financially responsible, live in the plus every month, start saving, and set yourself up for a much brighter financial future. It's in your control. It's in your hands. You can do it. Okay, so make that budget. Make your life fit into whatever it is that your income is. Hopefully, after some time, and I'm not saying it's tomorrow, right? But you can make another line item in your budget called savings, right? And you're going to cut a little bit, of your expenses, and that's going to go into savings. I would start with something very modest, so that you can actually achieve your goal. Achieving goals here, getting wins, even if they're small wins, is incredibly important in this process. Because if you start off and you have a loss, right, doesn't work out for you, you fail, you're just going to fall right back into the situation we're in. But if you can get a win and another small win, you can say, well, you know what? I can do this. And once you think you can do it, you can do it. And you have something to show for. So, I did it twice already. I can keep doing it. Right? I'm going to roll the table. I can do it. So you make your budget. Then you have to start attacking the debt. So how do you do that? Well, you have to have there are a couple ways you can do it. You cut so that you have a positive budget every month, and whatever you save, whatever you have saved between your income and your expenses, that difference, throw at your debt. Now I'm going to go back to what I said before. You may want to take a second job, a side hustle, whatever the hot term of the day is. Okay, but you can work 9 to 5 and then take a part-time job a couple of hours a night or a couple of days a week and get some extra money coming in and just use that to solely pay off the debt. Get rid of the debt. It's like an albatross across your neck. Just get rid of it. Because once you get rid of it, all those payments, everything that you're using to pay the debt can now go into savings. Imagine how amazing that could be. Within a short period of time, you can completely flip the debt into the same amount that you had in debt into the same amount that you have now in savings. It doesn't take that long. It's incredible. And you can do it. Okay? So do that. First, get yourself a budget, live within your means, get rid of the debt, and then we're on the plus side of the ledger. Now, the first thing you want to do is create an emergency fund, which is like 3 to 6 months of your expenses. You want to just put that away. That's money you're not going to become a millionaire on. Just money that I have in the case that something happens, right? Your fridge breaks. You need to have you have a root canal coming tomorrow. I don't know, whatever it is, you need some money quick so you can access that money. Then you want to start saving for the medium and long term, right? How to do that? There's plenty of resources out there. There's index funds or whatever, but that's already a different situation. How to do that? But you want to, it could be real estate, whatever it is. But you want to buy good assets and you want to hold them for a while. meaning the long term. That's how you have a long term horizon. That's how you're going to be successful when you invest, no matter what it is. Okay, don't get into the business of trying to flip houses. That's probably not going to work. It might work for some, but for the majority of people, that's just not a particularly great model. Okay, so you're saving for the long term. You'll have other goals, needs that you need. Probably pays to speak with a financial advisor. They can help walk you through the situation. Also, make sure that your investments are invested in a way in parallel to whatever your goals and your needs are. That's really important, because if your investments are doing one thing, but you really want the money to do something else for you, so because you have some longer term goal, then you're going to be up the creek. You want everything to be working together. That's the key here. Efficiency. Everybody's on the same side. Your money's on the same side as your goals and needs. You're on the same side as your money and your savings, right? Everything is geared to one direction. Mightily important. Okay? You can do it. I've got faith in you. If you've got any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'd be happy to help. You wouldn't be the first person that I helped get back on solid financial footing. You've been tuning in to the Aaron Katsman Show, where we speak about your life, your money, and your investments. If you like this content, please hit the like button below. If you've not yet done so, please subscribe to both the YouTube channel and to the podcast. And if you think somebody might find this of interest, go ahead and hit the share button and share it with them as well. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm wishing you all a Shana Tova, a happy, a healthy, and a sweet new year. Take care.